hot takes, and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the Locker Room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not painting at all, please discuss.
And it's Hakim Ziyech.
A very good evening to you and welcome to another exciting episode of the Issues and Voice of the People television. I will bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I'm your host, Nenna Ndumdioto. Today on the issues examining the complexities of Nigeria's politics and governance, from EFCC legend governorship aspirants spent 30 billion naira on primaries, to Dixon defending NDC amid primary controversies. Also, Atiku'S aide claims presidency will be determined in the north. Finally, Ogun APC rejects Yabo Obasanjo's claim of maltreatment. Join us to break down the facts and provide context to help you stay informed. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll dig deeper into these issues. So stay with us.
In a world where power shifts with every headline,
In a nation full of questions,
in a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
Glad to have you back. Let's dive straight into what we have for you today. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says governorship aspirants across political parties spent an estimated $30 billion, billion naira, beg your pardon, during the recently concluded primary elections ahead of the 2027 polls. According to the commission, the figure was derived from intelligence and monitoring of political activities during the primary election season. The agency warned that excessive spending during elections could encourage corruption, compromise accountability, and discourage credible individuals from participating in politics. The EFCC also reiterated its commitment to monitoring campaign financing and enforcing laws aimed at promoting transparency in the electoral process. The Commission noted that it remains committed tackling vote buying and other forms of financial inducement capable of undermining the integrity of Nigeria's electoral process. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by two distinguished guests who will be joining us virtually. We have Chris Aide, who is an international freelance journalist and a public commentator. Glad to have you join us, sir. If you can hear me. Okay. Yes, glad to have you join us. Also, we have joining us from our Benin studio, we have Comrade Solomon Idiogbe. He is a public affairs analyst and the coordinator of the Coalition of Civil Society Organizations. I'm glad to have you join us, comrade. Okay, we'll get to connect with our being studio later on in the show. Let me start with you, Chris. You know, when you hear what the FCC is saying, 30 billion naira have been spent on just primaries alone. You know, when you think about this, what does this review about the cost of politics in our country?
Well, it's obvious that politics is not for the poor, and it's just for the wealthy and the influential. And so, if you are poor, you just all you have is the vision and the idea. You just had better go and die with your ideas and vision, because the system will not give you the platform to do it, to help the people with your vision and ideas. Now, coming to what the EFCC chairman is saying, that he's trying to protect the system from being undermined and all of that, preparing ahead of 2027. But I like to point out that it's already working in an undermined system. And it's also talking about there will be no sacred cows. Already, the ultimate or the biggest sacred cow is his boss, with all due respect. So it's working within a flawed, fraud-prone system. So I don't know how believable what he's doing is or will be. Because the targets are right there. That's, if you really want to win a prize and they seem to be doing a job, the targets are there before him. And in fact, they are his bosses. 30 billion. What's 30 billion in the primary? 30 billion naira. There are people who have spent more than that, even in the election that brought this proof. So as far as I'm concerned, it's just hypocrisy. From an institutional, raised to an institutional scale level. It is hypocrisy. You are fighting corruption in a visibly manifest corrupt regime. So is the corrupt person who brought you.
Are you still with us, Chris? Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Eh?
I can. Yes, I can.
Yes, what I'm saying is that this is a charade. The gentleman said he doesn't want to, he's trying to protect the system from being undermined. And I'm saying that he's already working in an undermined system. He says there will be no sacred cow. And I'm also saying that the ultimate and main sacred cow is his boss. And I'm saying also that he's working in a flawed and fraud-prone, fraud-driven system. The whole enterprise is compromised. The person who brought him to office as chairman of EFCC is corrupt, publicly corrupt, with evidence, both national and global. So I don't know what, for me this is hypocrisy raised to international level. And I don't know how believable this will be, if you can hear me. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a charade. I don't believe in him. I don't believe in him. I don't believe the system that is running right now within this corrupt system. So how can you fight corruption in a corruption reading enterprise system platforms? You're working in an ecosystem that is corruption itself. The president that brought you and the person that brought you is corrupt. So how do you want to fight the system? How do you want to? So in fact, let's not deceive ourselves. 2027, we're talking about vote buying, arresting people for vote buying. When vote buying was what brought the man who put you in office. So what are we talking about? So it's like they are just playing on our intelligence, and they jolly well should, because it's their time. They have the power, they have everything. But the truth, but it does not diminish the facts. It does not diminish the truth. Nigerians know what's going on. They are aware, and anybody else who is following Nigerian politics know that, look, this is a charade, man. Just drama at an internal level. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So you're saying that the EFCC
Yes.
chairman has no,
Go ahead.
you're saying that the EFCC chairman does not have any reason, or does not have, any moral justification to actually be the one saying this. But, kind of just, try and take away the messenger and take the message, which, of course, when you look at really how much has been spent on just primaries alone, we're not even talking about campaigning. We're not talking about the actual election itself. This is just, just primary election, which is like the first stage, if I could use that phrase,
Yeah.
of this electoral
Yeah.
process. And that huge amount has been spent already. When you look at it, would you now say that, when you ask, how can an ordinary Nigerian actually, come into this space where it looks like money has become the major issue? Doesn't this actually shield us? No, not shield is not the right word, but doesn't this actually stop an ordinary Nigerian who is competent, who might be competent, but does not have that account, and this amount or huge amount of money, doesn't this actually stop him or her from actually putting his, trying to ensure that he also comes into this race?
Well, let me just quickly let you know that the system as it is now does not accommodate the ordinary man. The processes does not even have any space for angels right now. In this process, in this particular system, devils and demons are at play. They are at work. They reign. So no angel has a space here. This is darkness, darkness, everything. The darkness is in power right now, is in charge. So light, except light decides, and when God said light should pierce it, because even one flicker of light can destroy darkness. So right now there's no light, and it's not for. This is not for.
Can you hear me? Are you still with us? Are you still with us, Chris?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I lost you at some point. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Please go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying that this game is not for the ordinary man, and the system does not have space for angels right now or saints. The people playing this game right now in the name of big players, they are not big players. They're just evil demons and devils. Those are the ones playing this game, because really, like you said, looking at the message, yes, when you're talking of a normal, not even ideal yet, normal situation, money should not be the thing, that determines, leadership for a country, and really at this time in our history. It is not. But then we are not in normal times. We are not in normal times at all. We are in a very, 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 very strange situation here. These are situations that would ordinarily otherwise have been referred to as fictional. Imagine if Nigeria was being ruled by devils and demons and whatever. But that is the reality. That's our reality. So it's not. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes. So that's our reality as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing we can do about it right now.
But
Poor man or ordinary man, there's no space for them.
There's no space for an ordinary man in our nation, according
None,
to you. That's what you're
none.
saying. But when we look at it, should there be stricter, spend should have because to the point where we need to have stricter spending limits and transparency requirements for our aspirants. Should there be like an electoral reform to actually achieve that? What do you think?
You are speaking as if we are in a sane time. We are not sane, no. We are talking of a normal time. We are in it's not normal, oh. I think we are in a state where the devil is reigning. We are in a hell situation. We are in a situation that defies normality. We are in a situation that defies sanity. We are in a situation that defies justice, mocks justice. We are in a situation where nothing right or is allowed. We are in a lawless situation. We are in a reckless situation. In fact, Nigeria, somebody said, we are in a corrupt enterprise. So who is going to enact or even generate the law that will put a cap? Which cap? Which cap are they going to put anywhere? Who is going to put the cap? We are in a jungle, man. So nothing is sane. Nothing is right. Right now, we all are in an outlaw situation. All of us. Nigeria is an outlaw right now. Right now. Lawlessness reigns supreme right now. Nothing will work. Nothing good works. Nothing good will work in this system. Only bad, wrong, and evil things will work. So let us face it and have peace, at least for the whatever peace we can have. Nobody is coming to put any cap on anything. They are going to continue like this, and it's going to get worse. We are hearing 30 billion. We'll soon be hearing 30 trillion. What were we talking about 30 billion for primaries 4 years ago? No. We are still talking in the realm of 300 billion, maybe 3 billion max. But now we are talking 30 billion 4 years later, right? Okay. 4 years, another 4 years from here, we might be talking 1 trillion, 3 trillion per primaries. Not even an election. So it's getting worse. It's getting worse progressively. So that is where we are. Don't talk. Look, I don't deceive myself. There's nothing will work. All these things you are hearing, structures of governance, and no, they're all charade. Right now, yeah, let's even say, for instance, government is a house, right? But that house will not work except the human beings who happy inhabit it. If if 419 inhabit it, it's 419 that will live in that house. They be 419 themselves and anybody that comes and neighbors. But if good people are the ones who inhabit that house, oh, there will be rules, there will be discipline, there will be law that will be upheld. But right now in this house, you have crooks, criminals, convicts, cocaine people, drug addicts. Drug addicts and cocaine. You have terrorists. So the house is infested with outlaws. So nothing good can come off or in this house. That's where we are. I don't know if you hear, if you've heard me so far.
Of course, I am. I'm listening to you. But let's look at this,
Yeah,
Grace. I know, like you've said, it looks like you're painting a very, very gloomy picture for us as a country. But of course, let's look at
yeah.
this. When you look at how much, would you say that so much of our corruption? Yes, we see Nigeria is a corrupt nation, but do you really think that would we actually tie this corruption that has bedeviled our country to the high cost of elections? Because when people get to actually spend this much, it means that by the time they come into office, they want to amass everything that they would ever want to amass just to ensure that they make up what they've spent. Do you think that the high level of corruption can be tied to the high cost of spending on our elections that we have?
Oh yes, of course. Of course, it's a normal economic fact now. My sister, if you are a politician, you know that politicians go to banks now to borrow money. They borrow money from friends, families, and banks, financial houses, and when they get to power, they will have to pay them back. Where are they going to pay them back? By just being nice to the people, or by just allowing budgets, for public good to just go like that. No, no, it won't happen. They will have to dip their hands in the cookie jar, and that's what's happening. And this government will go will at end its jersey in public corruption. Impunity itself. This is no longer corruption. This is impunity. This is impunity. What you are having now is no longer corruption. It's criminality. Why? It's just that we have now noted is higher that you spend to get there, to participate in election, or to even get yourself appointed in certain offices. You have to pay your way. So when you get to the office, you have to pay back those who paid you, who helped you. So that is why right now, today, there's no longer fear now. Before, yeah, there was fear in trying to steal public money. No, there's no fear now. There's no fear now. There is now a collective consensus in that ecosystem to steal, to virtually hijack public purse. And that's what we have now. That's what we have now. And that is a function of the money that you spend in trying to get to where you are, either as a politician or as a public servant, or it's pride is everywhere. When ordinary police, to get into the police, you have to pay your way to become to be a policeman. When you become a policeman, that is why you carry gun and now have a toll gate and make money and go and pay back the person who put you there. So it's down the line, bottoms up, top down. So that's what explains why the corruption may never end for now, and why it is this high, in our lives in the country. I hope I got your question right.
Yes, you did. You did. Thank you very much. Let's hear from our other guest. And we have Comrade Solomon Idiogbe, who is a public affairs analyst. Joining us all the way from our Benin studio. Glad to have you join us, Comrade.
Yeah, good evening. Pleasure.
Yes. Okay, of course, let me bring you up to speed to what we've been talking about. Looking at the EFCC actually alleging that governorship aspirants have spent up to 30 billion naira just on primaries. When you hear things such as this, would you actually say that political parties, are in a way trying to they're encouraging corruption when you get to through their, expense or costly nomination forms, and how much these politicians actually spend on primaries? Hope you can hear me.
No sound.
We seem to be having connection issues with our Benin studio. Let me come back to you, Chris. When you look at this, before we move on to our next conversation, I'll try to as well connect again to our Benin studio. When you look at all of this, what reforms, are necessary to actually make politics more accessible and less dependent on money, as it were, in this nation? Can you hear me? Chris Otayegbe, please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, did you hear my question?
Yes, yeah, I got your question. I want to be clear. Maybe you have to repeat that question now.
I said, what reforms are necessary to make politics more accessible and less dependent on money in this nation?
Okay. I get it. I get it. Now, look, I will not. There, where we are today, there are only two options, or even one option, as it were. You cannot talk about reform in a totally, massively, wholly, and entirely deformed system. The options left to you, therefore.
Are you still with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, please. We lost you at some
Hello?
point. Yes, we lost you. We lost you,
Okay,
please.
can you? Okay, let me. Okay, can you hear me now? Let me be sure they're hearing me every week.
Yes, yes, we can.
What I'm saying is that reform in this situation, uh, uh, we have two options. Okay, are you with me?
Yes.
Now, but we have to understand that where we are today, we are in a wholly, entirely, massively deformed system. So, like, there's no way out. So, the options you have is either to get rid of that system or to continue to pretend that you are doing some kind of reform, just be tweaking things here and there and pretending that you are reforming anything. I hope you heard that.
Yes.
So, right now, I would, like I've always said here, I don't want to deceive myself. Reform, part of reform is what's this man's name? Olukoyede, the EFCC man, is talking about. Oh, arrested 30 billion people who spent 30 billion in primaries, who have been arresting people. But these are not people when you have the sacred cow in front of you there. So what I'm saying is that, oh, that's the second option there, to be tweaking things here and there and be pretending you are reforming in a deformed system. So the situation where we are now is to, if you really mean to reform anything, you need to get rid of this system, get rid of it, delete it, and everything in it, clean it up. This system needs cleansing, absolute, entire, whole cleansing. No story, no messy, ruthless cleansing that makes it all clean, and you start from on a clean slate. That's when politics, you can now decide to make politics attractive to the right people. The way it is now, nothing. Now, it's nothing you can do now. Is it politicians who are desperate, dangerous, who have the means to delete anybody who stands in their way? Is it that system you think you can reform? No, as long as they are there, nothing can work, nothing will work, nothing can happen.
Okay.
Only what they want happens. And the only thing they want is corruption. That's the only way they can move. That's the only way they thrive. That's the only way they flourish. So no angel can do anything except the angel is ready to fight and clean and cleanse up the whole system. That's the only way this can work. This is the pragmatic and practical, realistic thing that can work. There's no trying to chew up around it.
Okay.
There's no improvisation you can make that will work here. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Let's thank you very much, Chris. Let's try to reconnect again to our Benin studio. I'm Comrade Solomon Idiogbe. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me move on to my question. So EFCC has alleged that governorship aspirants have in just the last concluded primaries, they spent up to 30 billion naira. And when you look at this, when you hear such huge amounts just for primary elections and not even the main elections, not even the campaigning process and all of that, and that huge amount has been spent, you begin to wonder, have political parties, do they, inadvertently actually encourage corruption when you look at how much they actually even sell the nomination forms? Do they encourage corruption with all of this that they put together? and before even the election process started. Okay, we seem to still be having connection issues with our Benin studio. Let me move to our next conversation. Former Bayelsa State Governor and President and former Bayelsa State Governor, and of course the leader of the National Nigeria Democratic Congress (NDC), Seriake Dixon, has talked about the growing controversy surrounding the party's presidential primary. Speaking on the controversy, Seriake Dixon defended the party against criticism from some supporters of presidential candidate Peter Obi, urging them to stop attacking the party or its leaders, noting that such actions undermine the political vehicle conveying their preferred candidate. Dixon stressed that membership in the party is voluntary and that no individual or group should regard themselves as indispensable. The former Bayelsa governor also broke his silence on complaints arising from the primary election, calling on aggrieved aspirants and supporters to remain calm and work towards party unity. He further maintained that his credentials and experience qualify him to seek the presidency, while emphasizing the need for internal democracy and respect for party processes. Meanwhile, Aisha Yesufu, an activist and an ally of Peter Obi, has criticized Seriake Dixon over his handling of the fallout of the party's primaries and also of the interview he had. Let me come to you, Chris. When you listen to Seriake, okay, let me start with our Benin studio. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Oh, you can hear me
Very
now.
well.
It's sad that you're not able to comment on our previous talk about previous discussion on the EFCC and the public affairs and the EFCC
The,
and
the, the,
the money that has
the,
been spent on
the
political.
EFCC's position is a scam. It's largely not possible to say 20-30 billion was spent on a primary aspiration by, unless that can happen within APC. Anyway, to me, it's just giving a dog a bad rat to hand it. Of course, how people who are 20 billion, 30 billion, they should show their names, public names. It's just the old animal farms. So I don't take any of their words seriously. They should
Okay.
show us results, show us, tell us the people, mention their names, tell us the political party.
Okay, it's fine. Let's look at this issue with Seriake Dixon, the NDC, and the controversy, surrounding the primary elections and all of that. When you look at that, when you look at what would you say, why do you think, NDC is still facing controversy, despite concluding its primaries? We've been having so many talks here and there, all about Aide, this NDC rather. And Sarah Dixon came out to say just yesterday, I think, that nobody is indispensable. And on the other hand, again, he was also saying that he could have been the presidential candidate. He has everything it takes to be a presidential candidate, but he decided, kind of in my paraphrasing, not in his exact words, decided to mellow down for someone else. And he's telling Obi supporters they need to calm down. What do you think? Do you think that Sarake Dixon is acting as as some people have called him the Ayatollah? And you think he's actually acting as a supreme leader, or is he doing the right thing? By ensuring that nobody seems to feel that the party, according to them, that they should not make the party a special purpose vehicle. Do you think he's actually trying to ensure that NDC it's put together, like the party isn't just being used and then dumped at the end of the election? Okay, so comrade, if you can hear me, so we are having issues with your audio. I think it still needs to be fixed. I will come back to you. We are still having issues with hearing you clearly. So let me go to Chris or Taigwe. Chris, I'm sure you had a question that I asked our other guest. What do you make of
Yes,
this
of course.
issue? Yes,
If you can hear me,
I can
can you
hear
hear
you.
me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Now, NDC's Dixon. This is a bit funny, but serious and suspect too. First of all, uh, whether Syriac Dixon likes it or not, his party, the platform, nobody knew it before Kwankwansia and Obedient Movement combined to use it. So it is an SPV, it's a special purpose vehicle. If Labour Party had been at work or ADT had worked, they wouldn't come here. But still, that does not, in fairness to him, that does not give the supporters of these two candidates, Rabiu Kwakwanso and Peter Obi, the right to be undermining the platform. They should respect the platform. In fact, they should thank God for the platform. But as for Siriake Dixon saying he's the best to run, this thing is not by height, or physical height, or body build. He's a big man, he's everything. And it's not just because you are governor that makes you qualified to run. There is something these two candidates have that is organic and unique to them that no other politicians have. And in the order of Peter Obi, then Kwankwanso, that is the truth. I've told Nigeria, this is not really about politics. It's about something new in the horizon and in the landscape of our political history in Nigeria. Okay? Whether they like it or not, that's what this is all about. We wanted this duo in the past election. If they had actually teamed up at that time, maybe we'll be saying something different today. But it's never too late. So whatever platform they choose to use will work. Any platform. Even if you go and get a platform and call it Pangolo Party, Association of Pangolo Politicians, or Pangolo Congress, Nigeria. That Pangolo Congress, because it has Peter Obi as his sole president and Rabi Kwakwanso as his runner-up, vice, the Pangolo Party will win. Who knew Labour Party before? Now they've left Labour Party is dead. Then the ADC came, they've left ADC is dead. Now they are on the NDC is getting traction because of them. It's not because of Siriake. That is the fact, that is the truth. Now, my fear now is that for Siriake to be saying this, it might subject this platform now that could work. So it's making it vulnerable to infiltration by the ruling party and their antiques and tactics. How they are just chasing after Peter Obi. He must not have a platform. It seems that is their goal. That's their agenda. Any platform he enters, they must destabilize it, disorganize it. For the chairman of the platform to be saying this, I'm sorry, I'm afraid, I'm scared, I'm worried. But on a good day, if Siriake would calm down and manage the system, and Peter Obi and Rabiu can caution their supporters, I believe we might be in for a real deal this time. And as I've always said, this is the kind of coalition or platform that I know would do one thing. It's not necessarily that it will make them, it will take them to the state house, right? Otherwise, it should take them to the state house because, in fact, without anything, they have won. But even if they win, they will not be allowed in there because the guy who is there, he didn't win the last election. Is it this election that he will win? No, he will. It's not. This one is just formality. He just wants to. It's a formality so that he can say, okay, at least there was an election. But he's already put himself there. They are planning for his swearing in, whether you like it or not. Every other thing is all formality. But, however, What this platform will serve to do is that it will serve to resist him effectively. That is just all about this. So that's all I can say about this for now. I don't know if you heard me so far.
Yeah, I heard you. Okay, but let's look at it. Are you actually saying that it looks like that the 2027 election is already in favor of the incumbent president? And when
Yeah.
you say things
Uh-huh.
like that, you say that you're actually saying that. So where does this actually leave NDC? But let's look at this. With this internal, would I call internal issues within the NDC, doesn't this, kind of affect their posing as a credible alternative, really?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Repeat what you said now.
I said, with the internal issues within the NDC, wouldn't these affect is actually posing as a credible alternative?
And that's what I've just said that, as it is now, with Peter Obi and Kwankwanso coming onto that platform has already now been known. And uh, in a free and fair election, whether the election is free or fair or not, as far as I'm concerned, this platform would make a great show of itself, right? And as far as I'm concerned, this is a winning platform, right? However, this growing internal wrangling, that's what I just spoke to right now when I said that for a chairman of the party, Tiriake should calm down while his presidential hopefuls should now caution their supporters. Otherwise, it will make the platform vulnerable to infiltration by
Okay.
the ruling party, who has made their goal and sole agenda to destabilize any platform that has Peter Obi written on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So already, whether you like it or not, Peter Obi and Rabi Kwakwanso, they, they are the duo that will resist whatever this election comes out with. Whether it is good or whether it's bad or whether it's by force or this candidate, this duo
Okay.
is what this duo is what will resist
Okay.
any
I,
corruption, any attempt to thwart the people's choice effectively.
Okay, you're saying that this deal, it looks like you're so confident in this deal, like the end of Obi Kwankwaso. But recently, a veteran journalist, as Dele Momodu, had come out to say that in this election, this 2027 election, he only sees just two major candidates or just made two major contenders. That is as far as it's concerned, is a two-horse race, and that is between the president and Atiku. That no other person is, no other person seems to be, very, very, that he's the other person, the other people like Peter B as well is not. Would I say he's not? I don't want to use the word tangible, but he's being there is not important. That for him it is Atiku and Atiku and Tinubu. Then also recently, Kenneth Obi also said that any vote that is anyone who votes for Obi is indirectly voting for Tinubu. So, but you're saying that the duo is like what we need and the savior that we need as a country. What do you think about those statements?
Yes, well, I'm not surprised about Dele Momodu saying Atiku and they kind of be saying they are voting for Tinubu indirectly. They are politicians. Right now. Those two people are being paid for. They are paid voices. They will say it now, but that's not the reality on ground. They will say it. I'm not surprised. Don't forget Kenneth Obi now as Kenneth Okonkwo, whatever his name is, has already destroyed his name that he built on the back of Peter Obi, not on the back of living in bondage. Right now, he's living in bondage of his own flip flop. Now, Dele Momodu, Atiku is buying up everybody and anybody, just as Tinubu will buy up anybody and everybody that were credible voices before. So it's not a two-horse race. There's no race here. Ask any Nigerian, there's no race here. Peter Obi is Peter Obi first, Rabi Kwankwaso second. Those are the duo, that is the duo that will win any election. Indeed, in the last election, Peter Obi with Dati Ahmed won that election. Atiku came second. Tinubu came in far third. But well, here we are. He's the president. It's the same thing that will happen this time. Trust me. Quote me. Peter Obi will win this election, hands down, landslide. Atiku will come second, far second. Tinubu may not be anywhere, but he just thought somewhere. But he will still be the one. They are planning for his swearing in. They are not, Tinubu is not waiting for any election. They're planning for his swearing. And if they're swearing for the second one, forget it. It's going to be there. For the third, for the fourth. So we're going to have the Uganda.
That's not in our constitution. Our constitution only says two terms, and
Which
that is what.
constitution allows for six sides? No, which constitution allows for six? They don't hear that they write constitution to put themselves in power. What does it take? He has the National Assembly in his pocket. What does it take for those guys within 2 hours to pass election, to pass another electoral act? You can vote and be voted for. You can no time limit. All they need is say no time limit, no time limit, and the guy is there forever. Any which house. So that is, let's forget this thing, man. We are playing a game that the people in power are writing as they go along. That's all. There's no book, there's no law, there's no constitution. They're just there, using grammar, using structures, using anything just to advance their personal agenda. That's where we are. Let's not fool ourselves. But I'm telling you, politically, the reality that's on ground. With all the suffering that has gone beyond, that has defied all odds, that Nigerians are going through right now, do you think anybody would want to vote for any APC? No. You ask yourself, would anybody want to vote for APC? Look at what is happening now. Nigeria should be profiting, and indeed is profiting, but the money is going to private pocket from the Iran-US war. Right now, oil is over 100. Now they've resumed the war, the hostilities. Nigeria is one of the few places left to buy oil. And they are coming to Nigeria. And I can bet you, I may not have the details, Nigeria is selling oil, selling more than 1 million barrels or more. We are selling because we have to sell. We are the ones left to sell oil, where people can buy oil. The Arab states are gone, where people are buying oil, the traditional places. Nigeria is one of the few places left to buy oil, and people are buying oil from us. But where is the money? We have Dangote, who has refinery, the biggest refinery in Africa. We are buying fuel per liter more than we were buying when we were importing. Is that not crazy?
Wow.
So we want to vote for a government who is encouraging that. No, tell me, who would want to vote for any government? Somebody was saying that he misses Buhari. Why would Tinubu is making Buhari look like a saint? So do you think anybody want to vote for APC in the next election with all of this madness going on? What are we talking about?
Okay.
Election is premised on the goodwill of the people, and the goodwill of people is defined by what they benefit economically. How is their pockets? How is their household faring? What is their welfare? That's what bring politicians to office. This one, the people are tired. Poverty has united Nigerians. That's what I'm saying. That all those Kenneth Okonkwo and Demola, what his name is, Modele Momodu, they are just talking from the money being paid them. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Grace. Thank you so much, for your analysis. Thank you for being a part of the issues. That's all we have for today's episode of the issues. Explore the challenges facing Nigeria's politics and governance. Thank you for joining us and for being a part of it. Don't forget to tune in next time for more in-depth analysis and discussion. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest news and insights. Until next time, I am Nenna Ndomdioto. This has been the Issues and Voice of the People Television. where the future faces forward. Please don't forget to stay tuned for hashtag with Vivian by 8 p.m. Don't go away.